Hello and welcome to Gateway, the path to possibilities. That might not be the coolest title, but I do believe it is a very accurate title. I recently had a teacher hand me back her Lumens because she no longer needed it, as she could now do everything from her venue. One of the hopes that I have for all teachers is that they can be unshackled from their desks. I believe the Gateway can make that happen. Okay, in this video you're going to learn all about the ports of the Gateway, how to hook up the Gateway, and how to install the software that lets your tablet talk to the Gateway. You also learn how to log into the Gateway so that you can project a screen, control which tablet gets projected, and finally, teach your students how to do the same. Now, let's take a tour of your Gateway. This picture shows you the front of your Gateway. There are two things that stand out, the power light and the two USB ports. The power light will illuminate when your Gateway is plugged in and receiving power. And that's about it for the power light. The two USB ports on the front will allow you to plug in a keyboard and a mouse that will actually allow you to control your PC from the Gateway itself. The possibilities of setting up your room are now much greater depending on where your Ethernet ports are located. The image of the back of the Gateway is a little deceiving because even though you can use this device wirelessly, we will not be using it that way, so the antenna are really not needed. That brings us to the Ethernet port. By connecting the Gateway through the district's network, any device that is also on our network will be able to connect to it. That means any device, either wired or wireless, will be able to access it. So, your tablet, your teacher computer, and your students' tablets will now all be able to connect to the projector through the Gateway at the same time. With a press of a button, you can switch between those devices or display up to 4 screens at a time. The next port is the VGA port. You will connect the Gateway directly to your projector or through the VGA port on your room's AV wall plate. This diagram gives a better illustration of how the VGA cable will hook into your projector. Next is the audio out port. The audio signal is sent from a device that is connected to the Gateway through the network. Since the VGA port does not support audio, you must use external speakers or headphones to hear the audio. The last port is the power port, which is pretty much self-explanatory. Okay, now that all the boring stuff is done, let's actually walk through the process of putting the Gateway to work. First thing that you need to do is to open up your favorite browser. I'm going to be using Google Chrome. If you're using a browser like Internet Explorer or Firefox, some of these steps will be a little different. Once your browser is open, enter the server IP number that you see on the projector screen. The server IP number will be in the lower left-hand corner of the screen. When you are finished typing it in, press the Enter key. This will bring up the Gateway's default information page. You will notice that you have 3 options, or links: Download, Conference Control, and Admin. We are first going to install the software app onto your computer. Then we're going to look at how you will control what is being projected through your Gateway. You'll be given instructions on how your students will download the Gateway utility app to their desktop. Their process is different than yours because they cannot install programs on their district tablets. We will completely ignore the admin link as that is reserved strictly for our technicians. I will click the download link, which will load another page, which will have the links and instructions on how to download the software that will allow you to connect to your Gateway. However, as you can see, the Gateway will also work with Macs. The process for connecting a Mac is almost the same as Windows-based devices. I will click the download link for Windows-based devices, which will bring up the Save As dialog box. I want to save it to my desktop so it's easier to find, so I will just select that folder and click the Save button. Chrome will download the file as you can see in the lower left-hand corner. Once it is done downloading, simply click on it and the installation process will begin. Just follow the installation wizard to properly set it up. The installation process will create an icon on your desktop so that it will be much quicker to launch the Gateway app next time you need it. Once the installation is complete, the Gateway app will show up, as well as the Connect to Wi-Fi network dialog box. Since the Gateway is going to be hardwired, we will not need to select a wireless network, so click Skip on this dialog box. The Gateway app will then find the Gateway you are trying to connect to. It will then ask for 3 more pieces of information: the server IP number again, your username, and the join code. Those 3 bits of information will be needed each time you connect to your Gateway. Again, the server IP number is in the lower left-hand corner of the Gateway information screen, which should still be projected. In order to input the numbers faster, press the period key between each set of numbers. Your username should default to your district login username. However, it can be whatever you want. As you can see here, my username is Sean and not my district username. The join code will be in the upper left-hand corner of the Gateway's information screen. This text box is a little more temperamental, so to avoid any frustration, double-click this text box to make sure it is active. When you see this program appear on your screen, you are now connected to the gateway, and you should even be seeing your tablet or desktop computer being displayed on the screen. I'm going to move this applet out of the way. You should now be projecting. If not, stop here and find your technician or your TIS to find out what's wrong. Okay, now onto the conference control page where the magic happens. Click on the conference control link. This will bring up the control login page. The password to get into the conference control page is displayed here. I don't want to say it in case you're watching this video around students, which brings me to my next point. Do not give this password to any student ever. This is the control page password for every gateway on every campus. Once you have typed in the password and click the login button, the actual control page will be displayed. Now for a quick tour. The most important item on this page is the Allow Control from this page only option. Make sure this is checked. If it isn't, then your students can actually display their screens whenever they want. In this section, you will see everyone that is currently logged into your gateway. I will show you what that looks like in a few moments. As you can see here, my device is associated with my username and it is currently being displayed and taking up the entire screen. I can click on these numbered buttons to display devices on specific quadrants. When I click the red square button, the gateway stops displaying the device associated with that red square. The gateway reverts back to the information screen with the server IP number and the join code when no display is active. As you watch the screen, you will see other students log into the gateway. They will follow the same procedure as you did to log into the gateway. You can now see Angela, Eric, Justin, and finally Sally. By selecting the first button, I can display my screen, which will take up the entire screen. Once I select the one next to Angela, her screen will be displayed in the upper left quadrant of the projected screen, and it will stop displaying my screen. That is because my screen was taking up the entire projected screen. When I select the two next to Eric, his screen is displayed in the upper right portion of the projected screen, and Angela's is projected in the upper left at the same time. Justin and Sally's screens follow suit with the third and fourth quadrants. As I said before, when I select any red square, the gateway stops displaying the device associated with that red square, but leaves the other quadrants alone. Furthermore, I can display any device on any quadrant I want, or even display it on the full screen. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching.